All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly divine the word, and truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, the Akim wa Akwa. So, speaking to the brothers, all right. I know you heard of this thing with Keke Palmer and her boyfriend. I don't know if it's her husband. I don't know if they married. It might just be her boyfriend, though, and the father of her child. All right. But I got one thing I want to get into first because the thing about it, brothers, you know, as we all should know, if you don't know, you're going to learn, if you're a young brother, is to be focused on what you got going on. All right. There's nothing wrong with having a woman. There's nothing wrong with being married. And we men, we love women, all right? We Israelite men, we love women, all right? But the women of our nation is just out of their damn mind. Sorry for the language. Because, man, they just, you know, and we all under the curses, and our woman is under the curse, so it's a punishment from the Lord, the way our women act, the way our women treat us, the way our women look at us, the way their mindset is. All right, it's a punishment ultimately. So, but first I want to get this, because a lot of that started with fathers not being in the household. Now, you do have fathers in the household, a certain of these households, okay, and they still accept what their daughter do. And I was watching this little short from Ice Spice, a new, you know, rapper in today's rap market. All right, she one of the newer artists, and I just want you to listen to it. I'm gonna get a couple scriptures. Let me turn it up.
Mom's a baddie, so she know what it is. But my pops, though,
He gonna black
I'm
out a
his
little
baby
bit.
girl.
He
Like,
gonna black out a little
yeah,
bit.
he gonna be like, couldn't do a different pose, but that's my pose. Like, for me, mom's a baddie,
All
so
right, so she said her mama is a baddie. All right, and that's just a new term that's out now. You know, these, you know, all these girls claim they baddies. All right. I ain't even, you know what? I ain't even gonna go in on like that. I'm gonna keep it PG. But you hear what she said. She said her mom's a baddie. She know what it is. All right, so her mom condones what she doing. Because mainly when they get down to the brass tacks, especially with the mother, it's all about that check. Usually the father have more morals. Because I was just thinking about it. I'm like, thinking about the show Good Times. All right, and James, the father. You think Thelma could have got away with this, what these girls be doing? James would have rather suffered and scraped and pitched pennies in the projects than to let his daughter get $1 million check but defile herself. Guaranteed. Even the mother, Florida, wouldn't have went for it. But James wouldn't have accepted his daughter telling him, well, you know, that's just my pose. It was a time where a father had rule over his daughter. And it's a reason why the woman need to be ruled, all right? Because when she's left to her own devices, normally she's going to be a hoe. All of these girls walking around here that mainly don't have fathers and they left to their own devices, these single women. You notice a woman be married, she be in a certain light, and then when she get divorced, she turn to a hoe, basically, a thought. She twerking everywhere. She dressing more scantily clad. She dealing with numbers of dudes. That's normally what happened because the woman is supposed to be guided and controlled. She's supposed to be under the rule of her father, and then when she get married, under the rule of her husband. All right, and the scriptures let you know this. All right. So let me play this again.
know what it is. But my pops, though,
He gonna black
I'm
out a
his
little
baby
bit.
girl.
He
Like,
gonna black out a little
yeah,
bit.
he gonna be like, couldn't do a different pose, but that's my pose. Like, for me, mom's a baddie, so she know what it
You
is.
see what I'm saying? That's her pose.
But my pops, though,
And there's
He
nothing
gonna-
her father can do or say. And he ain't going to do or say nothing because she bringing in a check for the most part. But it was a time where a father had the morals where his daughter, you know, the daughter would have been scared to, you know, say that to her father, scared to even dress or act in a certain manner around her father. But that's not so no more. So now I want to go to the scriptures because And I want to get this in the GNT. I want to get this in the GNT. Now, when you go to Sirach, excuse me, Ecclesiasticus 26, and start at verse 10, it says, if your daughter is determined to have her own way, keep a close watch on her. If you don't, she'll take advantage of any chance she gets, right? And that's why she was able to say that to her father, like, you know, her father, like, well, couldn't you do something different? All right, because no father wants to see his daughter out there bending over, twerking, ass cheeks out. No, man. But she said, that's my pose. You know what I'm saying? She can tell her father that. It's some fathers you can't tell that. All right. Verse 11, if she's too self-willed, be on guard and don't be surprised if she disappoints you. See, she'll spread her legs anywhere for any man who wants her, just as a thirsty traveler will drink wherever water is available. See, and that's a lot of these girls. All right. Now, because when I heard that, I'm like, my daughter couldn't have said that to me. You know, I would already put the fear in her not to even do nothing like that. When you go to Ecclesiasticus Sirach 42, starting at verse 9, it says, although, all right, and this is going into the father, okay? Although he will not let his daughter know it, a father will lie awake at night worrying about her. If she is young, he worries that she might not get married. If she is already married, he worries about her happiness. If she is a virgin, he worries that she might be seduced and become pregnant while living in his house. If she is married, he worries that she might be unfaithful or that she might not be able to have children. Keep a close watch over your daughter. If she is determined to have her own way, if you don't, she may make a fool of you in front of your enemies, right? Okay? And best believe some of his homies is looking at his daughter because she's grown. So her father, she said her father used to rap and all that. You know, he might be in his 40s, 50s. But best believe they looking at her in a manner. All right. And she busting it and twerking it so they able to see. All right. You will be a constant joke to everyone in town, a public disgrace. Make sure that her room has no windows or any place where she can look out to the entrance of the house. Don't let her show off her beauty in front of men or spend her time talking with women. And what do that mean? Talking to foolish women who's going to teach her to thought herself out even more. Tell her to sleep around. Focus on a career. Be a thought. And then in her 30s and 40s, find a husband. All right. Women hurt other women just as moths damage clothing. See? So you got women out there that'll tell her, why do you think she said mom is a baddie? She know what it is because her mama is condoning it. Her mama's not going to say nothing. Her mama going to pick out the outfit and tell her what to do. Because I remember I seen another clip where she said she went viral. She went viral off the busing challenge. And that's where girls, they first dress up, you know, they might be looking bummy and then they start bouncing up and down and they got on, you know, they makeup and their hair and everything. And she said her sister and her mom just kept refreshing. So her mom is like a friend, you know, her mom is condoning the activity. That's why she shouldn't spend her time talking with those type of women. All right. Now that's her mother, but other women like that. That's why I said that. The aged women likewise, meaning 60 plus, because the woman, she really don't mature until she get over her beauty years. Realistically, they'll tell you in society that women is more mature than men at a certain, but no, women don't really mature until they get probably in their like 50s or 60s when they pass that stage of beauty. That's why I say the aged women, because once a woman really is an older woman and she's not considered beautiful far as where men just approaching her, then she can really install wisdom in young girls. But if a woman 35, she no, no, she gonna be in competition with her daughter. You know what I'm saying? Say she 37 and she look good and her daughter 19, 20. They gonna be both doing twerk challenges, all right, in this day's age. So let me get this real quick. I just thought about that clip, and then I really thought about would James Evans let Thelma do that? No, he wouldn't. When you go to oh no, that's for that Salakia. All right, I was about to jump the gun. Now I wanna get this real quick, and this is gonna apply to the Kiki thing too as well, but it's mainly gonna apply for this Ice Spice video. Because again, the woman, she's not supposed to be left to her devices. And we seeing the results of that. All right, we seeing the result, like the brother Ayash from GMS Mississippi always say, we see the results of disobedience. We see why laws was implemented, and we see why the woman is not supposed to be single, not supposed to be head in the household. We see why she's not supposed to be left to her own devices. She's supposed to have a father, then a husband to tell her, no, you don't wear that. No, do this. No. Sort of like a child, but of course she's a grown woman, but she's supposed to not be left to her devices to make too many decisions, especially when it comes to head in the household. We see why, because look at the activity. Now, when you go to numbers 30, and some women might be offended, but it is what it is. Look at the fruits. Look at the fruits. Like a lot of women, a lot of these dudes that y'all talk about who's thugs and ain't no good, they was raised in single parent households by the mother. And that's why they is no good. Because the woman is not supposed to be the head of the household, and she's not supposed to be raising the kids on her own. Because the father is going to bring the structure, and the father is going to bring the discipline and order. All right? That's why all these young boys on the corner, if you was to go into prison and ask them, who you was raised by? I guarantee you 80 to 90% going to say, oh, I was raised by my mom, man. I guarantee you that. And that's the fruits. Because you can put the blame on the father, all right, about not being there, but it is what it is. Once that child is in your household, you got to do the best that you can do, okay? And not saying, again, there's fathers in the household. A lot of these fathers that ain't shit, they was raised by single mothers, and now they allowing their daughters to be in this kind of activity. Okay. Now, when you go to Numbers 30, you go into the laws of let me just get in a blue letter real quick, because I kind of like the headings in the blue letter. But you go into Numbers 30, what I'm thinking about. You go into the law of the vows. All right. So now I want to do this because now, this is the law to vow for a man, okay? If a man vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. All right? That's it. That's the vow for the man. It's no, this is how you know men has dominion. Now, this is the law of the vows for the woman. Verse 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and vow her bond wherewith, she have bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. So if a woman is in her house, in possession of her father, in her father's household, she vow to the Lord. Her father hear it, he feel it's okay, cool. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she had bound, her soul shall stand. So if you is in your father household, you vow a vow, the Lord is not going to respect it if your father say no. All right. What does that mean? That means the father has possession and dominion over you. All right. Continuing in verse 5, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed it. All right. And if she had an all in husband when she vowed or uttered out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. So if your husband hear it and he say it's cool, the Lord gonna respect it. Verse 8. But if her husband disallow her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lip, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect. Meaning, if your husband say, nah, the Lord is not going to respect it. Continuing on, and the Lord shall forgive her. See, the Lord shall forgive her. All right. Because why? Your husband has dominion over you. Just like the father had dominion over you before he gave his possession, his daughter, to the new owner of the possession. And this is why the woman was supposed to be in possession of a man. All right. Why is that? She's supposed to be under the jurisdiction of a man. All right. Because she's not supposed to be left to her devices, man. Not at all. And we see the fruits of that. So now that's going to take me to this right here, this Keke Palmer. All right. Which I really don't care, but it just, it's just crazy because the main thing is, now I say Keke Palmer boyfriend doubles down amid backlash for criticizing her outfit. I have standards, right? Now, let me throw these disclaimers out here. Disclaimer number 1. What do you expect from the modern day so-called black woman? I mean, really, fellas. Not to gash out on them, but 80 to 90, I'm going to say about 90 to 95%. It just is what it is, brothers. All right. Save the sisters that's into the word and, trying to do their best. All the rest of these women, mainly of them, most of them, they through. So what do you expect? Disclaimer number 2. When you get one of these celebrity women, what do you expect? Like a Keke Palmer and all the rest of them. Listen, they are going to be scantily clad because that's the business they're in. All right. They are basically being more nude. The more scantily clad, the more hoish you are, the better you are. And another disclaimer. She was doing it before she was with you. What you think she gonna do after? These women is not gonna change because they're not the woman of old. They're not gonna change just because they had a baby and they have a man. All right, it's not gonna happen. All right, and that's why before I get this right here, think about it. That's why, brothers, Apostle Paul was letting us know, like, it's better not to even deal with women. Now, again, we love women, man. All right. And it's nothing wrong with having you a lady. It's nothing wrong with getting married. It's nothing wrong with, having a lady, man. We men, we Israelite men, we love women, man. It's nothing wrong with it. But one thing I have learned, when you don't have a woman, you can focus. Seriously, you can really focus, man. And I remember Apostle Gabar telling, hey, it's better not to have a woman in this thing. He's been doing this 30 years plus. He said it's better not to because you can just focus and study when you want. And you ain't got to worry about what's going on with your lady and everything. All right. And Apostle Paul spoke on it when you go to 1 Corinthians 7 and 7, it says, "For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man hath his proper gift of the Most High, one after this manner and another after that." What did he mean? What do he mean by that? I would that every man be single. All right? Be single. Again, there's nothing wrong with having a lady. You gonna have a lady. You gonna deal with a woman. Most of you a man, you gonna want to deal with a woman, or you gonna have trouble in the flesh. He also spoke about that. All right, now when you jump down to verse 28, what did he say? He said, and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. No, it ain't sin to get married. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. No, there's nothing wrong with it. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you, right? So you're going to have trouble in that flesh. The way we was living, most of us, all of us that had sex before, so we know what that feel like. And, hey, it's going to be a little trouble if you don't deal with a partner. But being single, for you brothers, you will be able to focus. All right, and even in the world carnally, a lot of entrepreneurs that have went to the top, they wasn't dealing with all these women, man. They was able to lock down and focus on their craft. All right, that's why even certain boxers and stuff, they might stop having sex for a time until they fight, because it builds up the strength. They want to be focused. All right. Verse 29, but this I say, brethren, my brothers, the time is short. It remaineth that both that they that have wives be as though they had none. Yeah, the time is short right now. We in the moment of the biggest prophecies taking place, man. All right, meaning what? We need to stay focused. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. All right. That both they that have wives be as though they had none, meaning what? You need to be focused. All right. You don't need your mind occupied with these women. All right. Because majority of them is silly and they want to do what they want to do. So let them have at it. All right. Because all they going to do is take you off your square. All right. That's even carnally in the world. Even when you trying to grind and work, you want to build a business, you want to stack some paper because you're trying to move or whatever it is you're trying to do. A lot of times what it take you off your square is a woman, man. Okay, verse 30, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Right. All that you went to is going to pass away along with these silly women, man. All right. And you don't want to get caught up with these silly women and take you off your square, because a woman can take your crown, man, little by little. Satan can love working through the women. All right. Verse 32. But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord. See why? Because you're able to just focus on your craft in this ministry. You're able to study more. You're able to read more, do more lessons most of the time. If you're a single man, you ain't got no kids, you go to work, you come home, you can just zone in and focus. All right. Continuing on, how he may please the Lord. Right. You might even pray more. All right. Verse 33, but he that is married, all right, care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. Right. When you're married, you got the family, you might have to take extra hours. All right. Your wife, baby, she might get on you. I'm been wanting to travel. I want to do this. You always studying all the time. Then you working on, you ain't got no time for me. Da, 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 da. And sometimes you might give in to your wife or your lady. All right. Whereas a single man, he ain't got to worry about that. He can just sit in his crib and just, all right, I'm going to read 5 chapters. I'm about to do this lesson. But a married man, a man with a lady, especially if you have children too, guess what? Your wife might be nagging you. You don't take me out. You don't do that. You always doing that. And sometimes in a relationship, you do have to, pay attention to your woman, man. And that's why Paul said what? When you went up, all right? He said, for I would that all men were even as I myself. Meaning what? Single. Let's get in the NLT. It says, but I wish everyone, and he wasn't talking to women, all right? He was talking to men. That's why I said brethren, all right? He wasn't talking to women. But I wish everyone were single just as I am. See? He wasn't talking. He was talking to the brethren, all right? But that's why he said that, okay? He said that because you can focus, all right? And again, when you get into this, her boyfriend, all right, Keke Palmer, she got a career. But we going to play this video. You going to see he mad about the dress. But I was looking more at that and how she was acting with Usher, man. And you with a dude, you not supposed to be doing these things, all right? And another thing I noticed on not Instagram,
Black
I'm
out
his-
low.
on when I typed it in, the reaction of the women, it's like, why is they shaming her? See, Keke Palmer boyfriend get embarrassed. All right, it says, Usher slammed Keke Palmer's baby daddy for wanting to control her. See this? You see? You see what it says? Keke Palmer embarrasses her baby daddy for Usher. All right, it says Keke Palmer claps back. And look at what it said at the beginning of this woman's video. It said, I think it said stay mad or something like that. One of these videos. But see, it's mainly these so-called black women who's defending this. All right, and what do you expect? What do you expect? All right, what do you expect, man? Really, brothers. Really. That's why it's best to just focus on your own thing, man. Because this is a punishment from the Most High for our for us going off. All right, what did the Lord say? Amos 7:17, it says, let me get these highlights off. All right, so we can. Amos 7:17, it says, therefore thus said the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. All right, so the point I wanted to make, because all this is happening, all right, like the Lord said it would, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. And like a brother was making a point, when you think about a harlot, which is a hoe, all right, you think about a woman, walking up the stroll, walking up a street, scantily clad, looking for tricks. But nah, man, it's your wife, it's your woman. All our women, all right, because man, ain't none of them virgins, and all of them had multiple partners. Mainly, I guarantee you. Your wife, your woman has slept with more than 2 dudes. Guaranteed. The average Israelite woman is probably to the teens. Close to it, if not. Okay? Which means technically they all hoes. And that's why we not getting no virgins. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the women start fucking when they about 14, 15. I know girls that was 14, 15 lost their virginity. I know girls back in middle school that was getting ran. All right? All type of stuff. So they was already defiled. So by the time they 30 and get with a dude they really love, she already done been ran through. You see what I'm saying? And just like we played the harlot, our women is going to be harlots. Let me get that. All right? Because we played the harlot. So now we going to get harlots as women. Jeremiah 3:1. They say if a man, because one thing about it is we married to the Lord, all right, Israel as a whole. But okay, you start with the man, okay, we trust how we trespass. That's why one of the curses is our women to look at us with disdain and trespass against us and be a harlot in the city. Verse 1, they say if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. Right. Spiritual adultery, spiritual fornication. All right. Worshiping false idols, false gods. All right. Just trespassing. All right. Again, we was married to the Lord. Let me get that. All you got to do is jump down in this chapter. All right. Verse 8. It says, and I saw when for all the causes where by backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. See, this is the Lord giving who he give a bill of divorce to? Israelites. All right. But when you go into Israel in this context, it's speaking about northern kingdom. That's why when you continuing on and giving her a bill of divorce, yet her treacherous sister, Judah, fear not, but went and played the harlot also. See, and Judah is referring to the southern kingdom, which northern and southern make up all of Israel. But what did it say? But went and played the harlot. See, that's why now our wives are harlots in the city. All right. And it came to pass through the likeness of her whoredom, see, that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. Right. What type of adultery? Spiritual fornication, spiritually talking, because the Lord married us in the covenant. All right. He gave us the laws, his rules. Okay. His laws, statutes, and commandments. Like a husband, he might give his wife a set of rules. And then if she go out and play the harlot, what's going to happen? That man he's going to be wroth with anger. So that's what the Lord is. He's wroth with anger. That's why he ain't giving us no virgins. He giving us all of these girls that already been bust down. These girls who's very haughty, disrespectful, have an evil eye towards us. All right. And that's why, again, brothers, it's best to focus on what you have going on. Okay. It's best to focus on that. So now let me get this little vid. You see, all of that. Now, what man is not going to look at that and be like, first of all, when she turned, you can see her everything is all out. All right, and she fanning herself. Man, come on, man. So it says, it's the outfit, though. You a mom, Palmer's boyfriend and father of their son, Leotis, comment on Twitter in response to the clip. Social media was quick to drag Jackson in the replies. Don't date a baddie if you're going to be this insecure. And that's the so-called black woman. But again, brothers, what do you expect? Come on, man. Another wrote, not you jealous of your baby mother. You right. She's a mom, not a wife. So now, he's not supposed to say anything. All right. So now if it's just boyfriend, so let's just say, because these women hypocritical, that's why it's just best to just, man, it's just best not to even listen to a lot of them, man. Because say you do have a girlfriend and you step out and you deal with another woman, they'll say you're cheating. So should we then say, well, I'm not a husband. I'm not married to this girl. I can do it, you know? That don't make no sense. All right? Because being a mom's should really alter your attitude, but it should alter the things that you wear and do. So being a mom is just important. All right? Jackson doubled down later, tweeting, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much a hater he is, man. This is my family and my representation." He continued, "I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." Right. Okay. And again, I put out the disclaimer that she was doing all this stuff first. So, brothers, be careful who you choose. All right. You can't make a hoe a housewife. As the old song said. And that's very, very true. All right. You can't make a hoe a housewife. And just because a girl is not fucking 10 niggas, don't make her not a hoe. Look at how she dressed. We can see everything. Look at all that. Everybody can see her. And these women, they think there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's just, yeah, oh well. You know, come on, man. Come on, man. Women was more shamefaced at one point. You know, they wouldn't step out the house like that, man. That's the attire of a whore, right? That's the attire of a whore. So even with Usher, right? You know, because he said in the song, "Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real." All right. So what if he wanted to step to Kiki? When you go to Sirach, Ecclesiastes 9:9, it says, "Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destructions." Right. Okay. Because the natural order of things, when a man and a woman is kicking it, chilling, it for a period of time, some feelings might invoke. All right. And who's to say who's to say they didn't do nothing after the show? Who's to say they ain't do nothing before? Who's to say? You see what I'm saying? Because she was all over there fanning herself and all of that. Now, I guarantee you, if he, was doing something of the manner, she would have had a problem with it. As well as these silly women who making these comments. They would have a problem if their man, was somewhere and a woman was twerking on them and they was smacking the girl butt. I guarantee you. But again, man, brothers, choose wisely. Because whatever a woman doing before she met you, she's going to more than likely be doing it while with you, even after the baby. Because we in a society where the woman feel like, she can have a baby, have a husband, and she's still supposed to be able to do things like twerk. And, I see it on Instagram. Women who I know is married, you look on a Explorer page or where you search, you hit that little magnifying glass on Instagram and you see women that married and they still be busting it. You see what I'm saying? They still be busting it. But, hey, again, brothers, this is punishment. All right. Lord willing, this was edifying. Just wanted to put this out there. Again, Lord willing, this was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.